Hey, John here. Here's liquor today, number 82. This is a pentatonic picking run. As usual, you can find a link to the tabs in the description below or by clicking right here on the screen. I'm gonna play it once slowly and then break it down. We start here on the 22nd fret of the high E string. Right, this one uses the D minor pentatonic throughout the whole thing. And we start here with this Yngwie sequence. If we take the first set of three notes here, we got 17, 20 and 22. And if we number them from left to right, 1, 2, 3, the sequence goes 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna repeat that twice in each position here. So you have to do it twice here, starting with a downstroke. And move it down to 15, 17, 20, twice again. Move it down to 13, 15, 17, do it twice again. Move it down once more to 10, 13, 15, do it twice. From here, we're gonna do these 5-note sequences. So again, if we take exactly the same fingering from the E string, but put it down on the B string, the sequence is gonna go from left to right, 1, 2, 3 again. We're gonna have 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So a 5-note sequence in this case. When I go from the E string, I'll leave that with an upstroke, and then I start the next string with an upstroke as well. So I do some economy picking. You don't need to do that. This works just as well with alternate picking throughout the whole thing. But if you want to try it with economy picking like I did in the fast example, you know what I'm doing at least. So again, 5 notes here. Repeat that sequence on the next string. So that would be 10, 12, 14. And we shift down to 7. And now we're gonna go 7, 10, 12, 10, 7. So another 5-note sequence. So, and then we have same fingering on the next string here. So we got 1.5 step and a whole step. And we do the first 5-note sequence. So, and then we do that again on the A string where we have 8, 10 and 12. And then went up here on the 5th fret, and then I ended with playing the octave and then just tapping the octave here on the 7th fret, on the 19th fret, so 12 frets up from this note. So we put everything together again, sounds like this. All right, practice-wise, it's almost like an exercise in the beginning here because you repeat this 6-note pattern twice in each position. So just doing that will give you a good picking workout. But other than that, just take it through every position on every string. So if you do it twice in each position, just be careful when you come down here because it can be quite stretchy. So only go as far as it feels comfortable. Definitely not worth fucking up your hand for something like this. But if you do that and do that on all strings, that will help a lot. And also, of course, use the mechanical fingering. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Again, you can do it twice with each fingering, like this. Change strings, change position, whatever. Just mix it up a bit. But I think the more reps you can get in this sequence, the better off you will be. And also you want to make sure there's really good reps when you do it. Okay? And for this sequence, I would take the the initial 5-note sequence and work on that in each pentatonic position. So you could start up here. Next position. And so on. And this sequence is actually good if you can get it together with the previous one. So you go. You can do that on each string set as well, or all over the fretboard. So if I do that starting from here, so I do the first 5-note sequence, second, and then you can just loop that. And a thing about single string picking exercises, some people think that that's, you know, for beginners. You know, you single string and the real hard part is actually changing strings. And I've had a few students that they played something and it didn't go that well, and they thought it was because of the string changes and started talking about all the pick slanting stuff and things like that. But then I would ask them, like, well, could you play just the initial part where you play, you know, the single string part? Distinctly remember one student where he actually had this type of thing, and I asked him, like, can you do this and do it faster with good synchronization? And he couldn't. So while the string changes also might be a problem, if you can't do the single string thing, you won't necessarily be helped by working more on your string crossing. And if you don't play a lot of arpeggios, you're going to spend most of your time on one string. You're going to spend more time on one string than you're going to spend time changing strings, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't work on string changes and that pick slanting, all that stuff can't be valuable. But if you have shitty synchronization on one string, that's where I would put a lot of my focus first. Because if you can't do it confidently on one string, where you just go, if that doesn't work, why would you think that something like that will work, where you have to change strings? So it's very important that you spend time on single string exercises, and you don't skip that because you think it's beginner stuff or whatever. There's nothing when it comes to the guitar that's actually beginner stuff, in my opinion, because you can always get better at something. I see it more as fundamental movements. So don't be one of those guys that skip that and want to go for the hardest string crossing stuff possible. Add that in as well. Great for string crossing, to alternate pick arpeggios, for example, but don't neglect the single string work. All right, that's it for this one. As usual, if you have any questions, just post them below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.